Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ambassador Veronique Lawson, and on behalf of Mamlaka Broadcast Network, we would like to say welcome and thank you. Thank you for tuning in today for another Power Pack show with Mamlaka Broadcast Network. Allow me to reiterate what Mamlaka stands for. MBN is a platform designed to empower people from all walks of life with time-tested principle for kingdom living effectively, constructing the worldly fact with the kingdom to the original. Today, we are joined by a distinguished, prominent, first-class kingdom ambassador, a dynamic leader in the government, Mayor Derek Wood, all the way from the state of Virginia, right here in the USA. Mayor Wood will be discussing this topic, seeing further than your eyes' vision. What did you see? My question to you today. What are you dreaming about, or what are you dreaming for? How does dream becomes vision? Seeing begins and ends with what our eyes can perceive, right? Your eye sees what fills your mind, while the eyes of your heart focus on the unseen, namely vision. Witold Rybczynski, a Canadian-American architect and professor and writer, says, for many people, weekend free time has become not a chance to escape work, but a chance to create work that is more meaningful to work of recreation in order to realize the personal satisfaction that the workplace no longer offers. And Dr. Miles Monroe put it this way in his book, The Principle and Power of Vision. I believe that many of us are living as clay vessels. In reality, we are pure gold inside. Our lives do not reflect who we are truly or what can be done. God has placed within each person a vision that is designed to give purpose and meaning to life. Furthermore, he defined vision as the foresight with insight based on insight, a glimpse of our future that God has purpose for each one of us. Today, Mayor Wood will give you a practical ways to see further than your eyes. Remember, no human being can give you vision. It is a God's given. With that in mind, allow me now to introduce our guest from his TED biography. Mayor Derek Wood. Mayor Derek Wood is a successful author, a veteran, entrepreneur, and family man. And he is currently serving as a mayor of Dumfries, Virginia, respected as a leader wherever he goes. Wood has garnered the support of many with his commitment to community service and his relentless quest to create a world where excellence is the standard. I tell you, constantly pursuing higher heights, the Marine veteran can be found ushering in various waves of purpose for living, knowing firsthand the power of perseverance. Wood empowers others to pursue their purpose with vigor and intentionality. His modern and unique approach to leadership and impact have left room for opportunity to share his transformational words of wisdom on rediscovering purpose, refocusing vision, clarifying potential, and much more. With an air of reliability and a true sense of confidence, Derek Wood serves everyone he encounters with humility and charm. He is the founder and pitmaster of Divine Barbecue in Motion, a mobile barbecue gathering company, restaurant, and competition team. He and the Divine Barbecue team happily and successfully serve the Dumfries, Virginia area with food that is full of flavor and cooked to perfection. Wow. Derek Wood resides in Dumfries, Virginia with his wife and children. Before I will give the stage to our guest today, Mayor Derek Wood, Dumfries, Virginia, I would like you to buy a share on this media, but just be the media evangelist. Share this broadcast with many as you can. Your entourage first, your friends, and many as you can. So we're going to play a clip today. Before we give a stage to our guest, Mayor Derek Wood of Dumfries, Virginia. We're going to play a clip. In this clip, it's kind of highlight or kind of give you a synopsis of how a man can actually see further than his eyes vision. So I'm pretty sure you're going to be familiar with this man as we are going to share. This clip is about a minute clip, and we're giving the disclaimer right here now to all Facebook and to Instagram and to YouTube that we do not, Mamlaka Brokers do not own the rights of these clips, but the owner himself. We give full credit to the owner of this clip. Please, producer, can you roll the clips before we give the stage to Mayor Derek Wood? Thank you very much.
Elected officials, family, friends, and fellow citizens of the town of Dumfries, I'm humbled and I'm honored to represent the town of Dumfries as mayor. The Dumfries I see is one that has a beautiful main street with restaurants and trees and a thriving vegetation with locally based business. The Dumfries I see is one where the community is engaged and it actually plays an active role by helping to inspire the neighbors to get to know each other. The Dumfries I see is a place, well, it's like Cheers, where everybody knows your name. So I want to thank y'all for all being a part of this occasion. God bless you all. I love each and every one of you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Wow, thank you for that beautiful introduction. It's an honor and a privilege to be back on Mamlaka Network, and just to be able to share with all my ambassadors from all around the world and to just be in this place. I thank you all, everybody behind the scenes, for this labor of love to begin to dominate the airways with a message that will bring hope, a message that will inspire, a message that will be like yeast and continue to spread one ambassador at a time. To everybody is an ambassador of our kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause for just your commitment and your consistency for doing this. I wish I had an applause sound effect. I would hit it right now. But nonetheless, I'm excited because when I watched that clip, that was 5 years ago when I became the mayor. 5 years ago. 5 years ago in a few weeks now that I did that swearing in ceremony, and I was able to really tap into just embracing a vision that was given to me. And that vision actually went back 10 years earlier, went back to 2012 when I got elected on the council. Most of you may or may not know that I was a mentee in Dr. Miles Monroe, and I got in trouble with the local government to the point where I got kicked off the side of the road for selling barbecue. And for those you don't know what makes a leader, leadership isn't something that you automatically are. You have to really discover your leadership. And everybody was born to be a leader. Everybody has leadership capacity on the inside of them. They just haven't discovered them. It's just like the apple seed has a whole apple forest on the inside of it. You just can't see it. You just can't see what's already on the inside of you. Dr. Monroe taught me during the seasons that I sat under him from 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that leadership is the capacity to really influence others through inspiration that's generated by your passion, that's motivated by a vision, birthed from conviction, produced by purpose. Let me tell you, my purpose when I got kicked off the side of the road was to become the solution to my problem. I had a problem. I could not barbecue on the side of the road. And so my purpose became is how do I become the solution? How do I create laws that that would change so that nobody else will go through what I went through. And from that purpose, I developed a certain level of conviction. I became convicted. And in that convicted to solving my problem, I realized that the solution was bigger than me. The solution wasn't just to benefit me, but it was to benefit the whole community. And so that vision became that I wanted to create a sense of community where people from all over the region would no longer drive through Dumfries, but they would drive to Dumfries. Now, when I said that, and when that vision got caught up, I knew that vision, I didn't know, but I know now, as I look back, because I often tell people, like right now, I'm somewhere between God's plan and God stopped playing. I'm like right in the middle of where I thought I should have been. And just the joke, sometimes I know you probably heard the saying, tell God your plans and watch him laugh. And I had a dream that was, and a vision, dream, vision, it could be interchangeable, that was so big that everybody began to laugh, right? Everybody was like, you're going to make this place a destination place? Yeah, right, type of situation. And so this vision that I had, I would begin to just speak it. I would begin to speak it because I saw it, but nobody else can see it. Oftentimes, and you heard her say in the introduction that people are so in tune with their senses, what they can touch, what they can hear, what they can smell, what they can taste, and what they can see. And we got to get to the point where we see further than our eyes can see, which is where I was. It was a scary situation because people can only see as far as their eyes can see. And so you might have heard the saying that said, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, I want to submit to you that you will never see it unless you first believe it. And the key to believing is you got to get out of what you've already seen. See, one of the greatest hindrance to your vision is your memory. Your memory inhibits you from seeing the future that you want, because vision is just a picture of the future that you want. And so as you begin to paint this picture with what you're seeing, you saw that video that talked about the Dumfries I see. And let me just tell you a little bit about what manifested over just the last 5 years. And I just got reelected January. I swore in again. But
congratulations.
Yes. So I got another 4 years. But over the last 5 years, I've been able to bring in Dumfries, we are around 1.6 square miles. I've been able to bring in almost $1 billion worth of new development, right? All because I had this crazy idea to see further than our eyes can see. And once you get motivated by a vision, you become very passionate with it. You begin to inspire others, and there's an inspiration, and then your leadership really is almost generated from the nucleus of your vision. Everybody else begin to get inspired because I had this passion to see further than my eyes can see. And people will come ask me, what is it that you see? And I would tell them, I see XYZ. When I looked at the history of this community was starving to see again. It was blind. And I was giving it the ability to see further than its eyes can see. What I learned, Helen Keller said, she was deaf and blind. She said, what's worse than being blind is to have sight and no vision. So the community was void of vision. Some of your community, some of your jobs, some of your families, like some of the environments that you're in right now, they're void of vision. They're void of having the ability to see beyond their eyes. And if you can see beyond your eyes and you can begin to imagine, you can begin to get in your imagination. The first century writer Paul said, he said in his letter to the church of Ephesus, right around the 3rd chapter, the 20th verse, he said, now unto the person who can do exceedingly and abundantly above all they can ask, think, really imagine, and is according to the power that's on the inside. Ambassador Lawson told you earlier that vision comes from a higher source. It comes from you staying connected to your source. And so there's something that's great on the inside. There's a recurring dream. There's a recurring thing that continues to get stirred up on the inside. It's something that you see that nobody else can see besides you because it was given to you. That's your vision. Your vision comes out of a sense of purpose. I told you my purpose was to become the solution to my problem, ultimately became the community's problem that I had to solve. And it led me on this road of getting elected to town council, where at the time I was town council. I still had the tutelage of my mentor to be around. I mirrored some of the things he was doing. I created a Commonwealth Day where I would bring all the common goods of the community together and do a community exchange. I did community fitness days. We did not only fitness days, summer concerts. I would do everything in my power to bring the people together. I created recreational programs for the young people. I started a community prayer breakfast that I would do annually. And I would do veteran resource fairs, and I would do all of these things with the heart of the community in mind. And as I begin to develop, and I begin to serve and understand the responsibility that I had, it went a little bit further as I began to really start to see the vision manifest. People would come up and, your vision becomes contagious when other people start to quote the vision. And I was at the point where I would say, don't drive through Dumfries, and people would finish it and say, yep, drive to Dumfries. And that became a magic place because as that vision was inspired, it was a picture of where I saw Dumfries going. It was a picture of the Dumfries that I see, and I begin to speak it. And even now I tell people this new Dumfries that I see is really the old Dumfries rediscovered. It's a rediscovery of the original place of Dumfries. Because as I look back on history, Dumfries was the first chartered town in the Commonwealth of Virginia. It was named after Dumfries of Scotland, right? And it was when you look at Scotland, you have Dumfries there, and so we became a township. And as that township here in the United States, it was built on a deep water harbor that everybody would come to because they would send out tobacco, they would send out goods, but eventually Dumfries lost its deep water harbor and it was no longer a destination. So the vision that God gave me for the community was actually an old vision that was being rediscovered. And so in me seeing further than my eyes can see, I realized that there's nothing new under the sun. Like that same vision that I was given, somebody else could have been given and somebody else could have took advantage of. But I took advantage of being able to really share and paint those pictures of the future for people to see and see picture where it can go and how we can get progress. And again, it all came from a sense of purpose. Where purpose isn't known, abuse is inevitable. And because I had a purpose, anything that came in the community, I made sure that it lined up to the vision. From the concerts, will it make Dumfries a destination place? Yep. The family fitness, will it make Dumfries a destination place? Absolutely. 2, I had some of the most controversial projects. We had some road projects, $180 million I had to go out and get to widen the road to 6 lanes. Now, there was another project that brought along gaming. Gaming is legal in the state, as well as the lottery and some of the other things. Well, they were going to go to some other localities, and we had the opportunity to ask them for more and hold them accountable. So I said, I'm not interested, but if you can build me a convention center with it, then it's a win-win. You get what you want, I get what I want. And what I wanted was to make it Dumfries what? A place you don't drive through, but a place you drive what? To. Yep, you're picking up what I'm putting down. And so they came back with a rendering for a hotel, convention center, 8 restaurants, right? And we were in a position where we were going to bring 600 jobs to this community which had been economically depressed for so many years and had no new jobs, no new industry. And I was able to bring in this hospitality industry that had this one little vice. And the other nuance to it was I wanted this company to become a community partner. And they were committed to being a partner. They have already donated almost $500,000 back to the community in the terms of donating time from their employees to come out to volunteer for community cleanups, helping the Boys and Girls Club buy a new bus, to all of the nonprofit organizations in this area. So not only did they bring all these jobs, but they're building a $500 million project in the community, right? So already we're talking about $700 million in new development that I brought off of 2 projects, all because people knew I had a vision, and they brought that vision because they knew it tied into the vision that I had. And so it's perfect that when you have a vision, as a leader, our vision becomes more real and it becomes more important, because the more people that hear about your vision, the more people want to be a part of it, the more other people want to buy into it. And your vision is what really gives you a sense of significance, right? It's not about like most people in my area. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of your politicians, their vision is very selfish. Their vision is so that they can have a position. Their vision is so they can have a title, right? And they don't have a vision, right? The way you test a vision is you test the vision based on how many lives it could improve. How is it going to make this community better, right? And then you watch for the consistency. Has this politician, has this elected official, has this leader been consistent with their vision, like I have for the last 10, 11 years? Like it's been one message, one sound. And the vision, it just continues to expand, because the vision, here's how you test the vision. If the visionary goes away, is the vision going to still be alive? Because the vision has to be bigger than the visionary. Vision helps you get the future that you want. Like if you're not where you at right now, it's because you keep focusing on your past. You keep focusing on where you came from. The key to vision is you to live out in your imagination and not in your memory. Let me say that again. The key to help you propel your vision is to live out your imagination and base out your future. See, the greatest, I think, enemy or hindrance to your vision is your memory, is you weighing down on what you already know, right? Because what you already know won't allow you to grow. Ooh, somebody write that in the chat. What you already know won't allow you to grow. And so you got to look at your vision from a place as what's my heart's desire, right? Because I don't want to get stuck where I'm at, because the only constant that life gives us is change. And the only one who doesn't change is our Creator, who continues to remain the same. Yep, what you already know won't allow you to grow. And so you got to have those thoughts, those ideas, those plans, those dreams that always remain constant, and you continue to always just move towards those things. Now, purpose, again, ignited it. Now, there's a difference between purpose and vision, right? When you look at purpose from vision, purpose is the original intent. Purpose is like, my purpose is to become the solution. But my vision is to provide, my solution to the community is that I'm going to make it a destination so that I can create opportunities. I'm making a destination for jobs. I'm going to make it a destination for recreational activity. I'm going to make it a destination for people to want to play, for people to want to live, right? And so overall, my purpose was to become a solution to going out to find the resources so that everybody can benefit from this, right? So it's a difference between purpose and vision. Purpose is the reason why. It's your why. And if your why is big enough, the how doesn't matter. Woo. Let me say that again. If your why is big enough, the how doesn't matter. I didn't know how I was going to accomplish that vision once I got that vision, but the why, the purpose was so big that the how didn't matter. Let me illustrate that for you. If I was to put a plank that's about 10 feet wide, 30 foot long on the floor. I put it on the floor and I said, hey, I got let me see what I got for you. I got $20. I got $20 for you. I want you to walk on this plank. Show of hands, how many of you, if it's you, that'll walk across that for an easy $20? How many, that say me in the comments. Let me know if you'll take this $20 from me to walk across that plank. Now, let me see. Okay. All right. Now, here's the second part. I still got the $20. I gave it to you. You won that. Now I got another $20. I'm going to take that 10 by 30 plank and I'm going to put it at the top of two big buildings. Right? Let's say I put it across two 16-story high-rise buildings. And I say, how many of y'all go walk across that building for the same $20? All right? Most of you probably going to look at me like I'm crazy. Now, let's say I put somebody you love on the other side and I set the building on fire. And the only way you can save that person is if you walk across that plank. How many of y'all gonna walk across that plank? I ain't giving you no money. Just set the building on fire. I put your loved one over there. And if you say yes, why do you think you say yes? Because the why got bigger. The why was no longer the $20. The why was that person that you loved was on the other side. That person who you cared genuinely about was on the other side. And it was so big that it didn't matter what the obstacle was. It didn't matter how you was going to walk across. It didn't matter if you was afraid of heights because you didn't focus on the obstacles. You didn't focus on your limited beliefs, but you had the right motivation attached to your vision. Your vision became that I needed to go save my family. And you challenged the traditions of people not being able to do impossible things. When you see beyond your eyes, when you see further than your eyes can see, it's not going to be, I promise you, it's not going to be that many people who are going to see what you're going to see. And so you're going to begin to challenge. Let me tell you this. When you see further than your eyes can see, you're going to begin to challenge those traditions, those things that's been traded down from generation to generations. You're going to begin to challenge it. And it's going to be uncomfortable because the group has just bought into the traditions. And when you come with this disruptive type of thinking, when you come with this disruptive vision, right, you're going to begin to challenge those traditions and you're going to begin to experience new ideas. And I'm trying to tell you that the most powerful thing in this world is an idea. And as you see further than your eyes, as you start to see things that line up with your vision, it's going to become very rewarding. It's going to become your life is going to become so much more productive. You're going to have to then begin to start to really detail and outline your plan. You almost got to reverse engineer. As you begin to see it, you got to figure out how you're going to get to that place that you see and work your way back and then start to take action, right? It's not enough to see where you're going and not take no action. For your vision, seeing further than your eyes, or your belief system, or your faith, right? Because belief is just faith without works is dead, right? And so when you seeing further than your eyes can see, you got to begin to systematically create a plan and then begin to execute that plan. Listen to me. If you don't execute, right, no action, no results, right? But if you take focused action, you get focused results, right? And so activity breeds results. Let me say that again. If you actively pursue your vision, you'll begin to start to see your vision become your vision that you see that's so further away will begin to be your right here. It'll be put you right in perspective as you begin to put that plan together. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? You getting it? And so it's going to require a certain level of commitment, right? It's not about, because what I'm going to tell you is it was a lot of speed bumps. There were a lot of walls. There was some creeks and some rivers that I had to cross. And what I learned along the way is, as I'm sailing along on this vision, it wasn't the smooth seas that helped me develop my skills, because a smooth sea doesn't make a skilled soldier. And so you have to welcome the obstacles, you got to welcome the challenges, and you have to begin to overcome your own limiting beliefs, right? Because you remember I said you can't grow on what you don't know. And so it's going to take you getting to a certain level. You picking up what I'm putting down? And so it's going to require a certain level of commitment. And as you make that commitment, as you start to get those wins, you're going to pick up a little bit of momentum, like a snowball. It's going to snowball effect. And the things that you're going through, as you begin to get motivated, as you begin to have discipline towards that, you're going to get that momentum and that motivation. It's going to start to clarify your vision. And as you continue to go, I'm telling you, it's going to inspire others to come along that way and to ride that wave with you. And so I want to just encourage you as you go through that to understand that the purpose of your vision is going to be critical for your personal success and your organizational success. I want you to understand that you're going to have to get in an environment, because sometimes your environment isn't going to let you produce seeing further than your eyes are going to see. It's going to be people around you that's going to limit you. I want you to continue to tap into the power of your imagination. That's a compound word. Your image is in action. Use your imagination to create that mental picture of your desired future, because your vision is just the desire of the future that you want. As you continue to push forward and emphasize, and as you begin your pursuit of purpose, because vision is just you being in pursuit of your purpose. As you begin to pursue your purpose, you're going to see that picture of the desired future that you want, and you need to begin with the end in mind. And begin to align all your actions, your decisions, your commitment to fulfilling that thing that you see. Does that make sense? And in the process, you're going to discover really the you who's always been there, but you didn't even know was there. I didn't even know I was a mayor. Dr. Monroe, Papa Monroe, he said to me in front of the old mayor, he said, my son Derek is going to be the mayor of this place. And I promise you, in my mind, I couldn't see what he saw. What do you think? I didn't see myself as a mayor, because at that time, I was still, in my mind, just a barbecue guy who was trying to become the solution as a council member. I didn't see myself in the driver's seat as a mayor. So when he said that I was the mayor, I couldn't imagine that. But I am fulfilling that now. So it was that vision was a sense of me discovering my personal identity. It was me recognizing my unique gifts, my talents, my passion that I had for this, for bringing people together, for bringing the community together. I began to recognize that all of this was really essentially a part of me becoming me. Like, becoming is always a continual process, and we'll never finish becoming all we can be and seeing further than we can see until we're dead. And so our life right now is about developing our mission through our vision, and to really capture individual vision that leads to this corporate vision amongst. So I want to just encourage you today to, set some clear goals, set some good actions. If you don't have a vision, I want you to really just take out a journal and start journaling. Take some time to just get quiet and just understand, like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? What is my purpose, and how can I create a purpose around my vision? Right? And knowing that my vision is just much more than just what I can see with my eyes, but it's me imagining and creating the desired future, not just for myself, but for my family, for my community, for the world. How can this world be better because you live? And as you begin to reflect on that, write that out, discuss it, and take exercises. Get into a place sometimes where because if you can clearly articulate and write your vision out, it'll help you get there. And as you begin to, it's going to be uncomfortable, And it's okay because you grow when you get into it. It's only when you're uncomfortable that you start to grow. Remember, it's only when you have these tests, when you have these trials, that you begin to grow. See, after you pass the tests, right, you get elevated. You go to another level. See, nothing that it can't be trusted unless it's been tested. And so part of the test is you're gonna have some obstacles. You're gonna have some limited beliefs that you're gonna have to overcome. That's gonna hinder you, right? And you're gonna have to. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna have some resilience as you go through. You're gonna have some patience, and those you don't know it, patience is just long suffering. You're gonna have to persevere through it, and it's gonna be you having the right type of mindset in your path to fulfilling your vision. You have to set your mind. Don't let your mind set you. Remember, entertainment contains you, but it's books and knowledge and information that transforms you. You listening to this, you're going through a transformation right now. And again, I can't emphasize enough how you need to really align your actions with your vision. You need to take daily actions based on what you see, based on the vision that you really envision. Again, one more time. And repetition is the mother of all learning. I'm saying stuff over and over. Set goals, create an action plan, stay focused on your vision, and you're going to create this snowball effect where you're going to create momentum. And one of the more important things is you got to start to surround yourself in a environment that's going to be supportive, right? Because without people who have a similar vision or people who's going in the same direction as you, it's if you are the smartest one in your circle, you're not in the circle, you're in a cage. And so yeah, if you're the smartest one in your circle, you're not in the circle, you're in the cage. So you might have to find you a mentor, right? I had to find mentors, people who can help me go the way much faster. I like to call a mentor the fast pass, because a mentor is somebody who has already probably overcome a lot of the challenges, has already been. I begin to align myself in associations and find accountability partners, find mentors, find like-minded communities where I can nurture and really sustain my vision. And the more I got in these environments, I was uncomfortable because I probably didn't think I should have been in those environments, right? And so you might have imposter syndrome, but you're not an imposter. You're developing and you're becoming the best and highest version of yourself. Vision helps you to release your potential. It helps you to release everything that's trapped up on the inside of you. And you're going to need to find those people or those communities that's going to help you get to where you at. And lastly, I just want to say, embrace growth. Continue to adapt, right? Personal growth and development and my ability to find mentors is probably my biggest superpower, right? To find people who I can see as mentors in this industry to begin to expound on, and it helps you get to your vision. You begin to adapt and you embrace change. Change is the only constant we have in life, right? Let me say that again. Change is the only constant you have in life. Change represents, Solomon said it like this: there's a time and a season for everything. Seasons are always constant. We only have God who remains the same. You're changing. You shouldn't be the same tomorrow as you were today. You shouldn't be the same after watching this broadcast as you was when you started in this broadcast. Like, the goal of this information, right? Information changes your situation with implementation. Information on me, execution on you. Information on me, but execution is on you. You got to execute. It's not what you know that makes you who you are. It's what you do with what you know. So I hope that you were able to take one or two nuggets that you needed today, and you able to go and run with it. So I appreciate y'all taking time out y'all day to listen to this short notes on what it takes to see further than your eyes can see, so that you can become a leader in your area, in your gifts, in your talents. Don't bury your talent. Embrace your talents and go towards it. Thank y'all. I love each and every one of you.
Wow. That is so fun. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor Derek Wood. Always a pleasure having you coming to share great nuggets with all our people of God, ambassadors, citizens, diplomats, those who are on their way to finding who they are. And just as you said, my goodness, information changes the situation with implementation. I mean, you share a lot, but I just want to highlight some keywords that you say that will actually even cause the people to further think or ponder, find a mentor. Then you say something very crucial just in the middle of the show when you say that, you know, the same vision that be given to you and that which you have taken advantage of, someone else could have. So oftentimes, I want you to, if you could just say 2 or 3 words on that. Oftentimes people think that, okay, God has only chosen me for this vision. But what you just say is that the same vision was given to you. That means that God gave the vision to almost all of us, the same thing. But now it depends on who or how people run with it, right? Please, can you highlight again on that? The same vision.
The same vision. Dumfries, I realized as I began to become the chief ambassador of this community, like I wasn't from this community. I moved to this community because of the military. And when I came to this community, I became an ambassador. So meaning I began to take on this community's culture, this community's values, this community's beliefs. And as I looked at this community, the founding fathers of this community had the exact same vision that I had. And probably other people, as I begin to see the breadcrumbs. Because as you begin to study, to show yourself approved, a workman, so that you didn't need to be ashamed. I wasn't ashamed of the community I was representing. As I began to see the bread, many others along that line had the vision, but they didn't execute. They didn't know how to get in the right rooms. They didn't know how to find the right mentors. They didn't know how to execute. And so as I began to look at the breadcrumbs that was left behind, I said, wow, this is the original vision for this community to be a destination. The courthouse used to be here. This used to be a bustling economic hub. And so it became economically depressed when it lost its original purpose. The Bible says King Solomon, the wisest man, he said, without a vision, the people perish. The people lost sight of being able to see the original purpose, and it became a wasteful area, a wasteful community. I just need you to understand. You need a vision, and you need to pick up on a vision that's based on your purpose and watch other people get inspired based on how fully convicted you become. Your conviction to your vision is contagious. It's going to spread like a wildfire. Fire.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Now, my next one is when you said rediscovery. I love that word. Yeah. Rediscovery this, we discover something that was there before, and so that we revive. The forefather of Dumfries community have mapped that vision. And you just say it again that as the wisest man ever lived, King Solomon wrote that people cast off restraint because of lack of vision. So then you came along the way, you rediscovered. In other words, you went on and picked it somewhere and brought back to the site so that people can see what that community meant to be. How can you explain that to someone who is out there still struggling to discover or rediscover who they are or what they could do, please.
It's gonna be your frustration, that thing that thing that's making them angry. You know, when I walked into that council meeting for the first time, I saw I didn't see a clear vision. You know, most time you watch politics or you listen to it, whether you're listening to the Republicans or you're listening to the Democrats, you see a bunch of chaos. You don't see a clear vision and a direction for how they want to move, how they're going to impact your community. And if that's frustrating you, then that's probably the thing that you were created to solve, right? I say, don't complain about something that you're not willing to become the solution. Bring your complaints, but also bring your commitments, right? Moses saw the slaves that looked like him get beat on, and he got upset, and he actually killed the slave driver because it angered him, right? And so in that anger was actually Moses's purpose. It took him 40 years in the wilderness, and God had to come speak to him through a burning bush to say, Mo, yo, that anger that you have, I can use it. That's actually your purpose. Go back and tell Pharaoh to let my people go. And so it's something that's been angering you over the years. It's something that frustrates you, that you're like, look, I am the solution to this. It's going to be a rediscovery. He rediscovered that his purpose was to free the slaves 40 years later. It's not too late for you. It ain't been 40 years since you've had that problem. It ain't been 40 years since you had that. Moses was in the wilderness for 40 years before he came back to his purpose, and then led the people out into the wilderness for another 40. So what I'm telling you is that your purpose, your destiny is not ahead of you. It's trapped on the inside of you. It's that thing that frustrates you. It's that thing that you know without a shadow of a doubt that you can do better. And it's all about you going through that discovery process, that you discovering who you are. You might have been a carbon copy of somebody else's whole time, but I'm here to tell you that you were born to be an original. There's almost 8 billion people on this planet. Now, one have your DNA or your fingerprint, which means that why are you trying to be a copycat when you were born to be an original? And if people knew who you was right now, the real you, the potential of who you are supposed to be, they'd all probably want to take you out for ice cream tomorrow. And so you need to tap into who you are, that potential. Release it. And the only way to release it, let me tell you something, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary, is you got to do some work. You were created to work. I didn't say you were created for a job. I said you were created to work. You got to work out your purpose. And it's going to be you getting on that process of becoming that you really get to your destiny.
Beautiful. Wow, 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 beautiful. Now, I was reading your post behind you there. It said, dream big.
Yeah.
Dream big and say it with love. So if I may just borrow your word, how do dreaming big, oh no, let me rephrase it. What is the relationship with dreaming big and vision or see further than your eyes? What it just explain that to an 8-year-old person who want to know what is the difference between dreaming or dream big or dream and vision or the coloration of the two.
Yeah, so when you think about Joseph was a gifted guy, old Joe. And, you know, he was in one of those positions where he saw further than his eyes can see. He got it in the form of dreams, right? And it doesn't cost you anything to dream big. You know, why are you limiting? I go back to that verse in Ephesians where he says you can do, say, yes, I can. You can do exceedingly and abundantly, meaning you can dream much bigger than what you've been dreaming. Solomon also said, as a man thinks, as a man dreams, as a man imagines. That's who you are. You are the court, like your vision is only limited by your thoughts. Your thoughts drive your ideas drive your words drive your life. And so as you begin to dream, remember when you was a kid, used to drive by the cars and used to be like, that's my car, that's my house. Well, at some point, because of the environments that you've been in, you stop dreaming big. You put the limits on you. And what I'm telling you, you have an unlimited potential that you have capped up. You've capped your ability. Like everything you're supposed to be, you are still yet to be that person. All the things you're supposed to have, you're yet to have. All the things that you can do, you're yet to do. Because your potential is only limited to your source. And I want to know that as long as you stay connected to the source that has all power, matter of fact, we call him omnipotent because he's all powerful, he's all potential. That only limits your potential based on where you come from, right? And you got to stay connected to where you came from in order to live. If you take a fish out of the water, you don't have to kill the fish. The fish will just flop around and the fish will eventually die. If I take my plants out of the soil, I don't have to kill the plants. The plants will eventually wither up and die because I disconnected the plants from their source. As long as you disconnect from your source, who is also your resource, then your vision, your potential stays capped up and it limits you. And you're limited based on you looking at your five senses, right? And I'm telling you to disconnect from your senses and get back to your pre-senses or get back in the presence of your source. Ooh,
It was just too good. That, my goodness, I don't want us to just give it too much information to the people now. Let's keep it for some time. Wow. I don't know about you out there, but just as a host sitting here listening to Mayor Wood giving us those nuggets, it's just, it's just you slapping the bear out of me. Like you remember when in those leadership conference when they said, Papa, you slapping the bear out of me. I just don't want to go out there and take it on.
We have a mandate. The baton was passed to us to transform all these followers into leaders, and all these leaders need to become change agents in their communities. It's a mandate that was passed to us. We got this baton, and so it's nobody that comes into my presence that I don't try to transform. I remember we was at Papa's funeral and they got up and they described him with one word at his funeral. They called him the transformer. Right? And we're all part of the transformers now. We all have to transform. And so I'm in this environment. And the one charge, I remember he sent it out to all of Atwala when I got elected in 2012. The one charge he gave me was to be yeast. And this vision that I have has just become yeast. And if you don't understand the nature of yeast, I'm a cook. One time I took the yeast and I put it in the flour and the bread, and I begin to, watch this, yeast didn't do nothing when I just put it in there. But when I put the pressure on it and I put it in a warm environment, it was heat and pressure that actually activated that yeast. And I would set the flour and the bread and the yeast in a basket after I activated it, and I would go sit down for a period of time. And if I sit down for too long, the flour, who think it has contained the yeast, actually, the yeast can never be contained because the yeast began to expand to the point where the flour bubbled over and the bread fell on the floor because the yeast was just that powerful that the flour thought it had it, but the yeast was like, my influence is much greater than the flour that's around me. And so as I walk into these environments, it all comes from the power of a big dream, of a big vision that all correlates together. See, I was sent out like a sheep. I look harmless. I look like a follower. I look like I was going to conform to your thoughts and your ideology, but they didn't know I was from another country. And I had a different set of values. I had a different set of belief. right? And so it doesn't matter which system I got engaged to, because, you know, the world is just a governing system. And it didn't matter which way I went, I got in government, but I brought a higher government with me. And so because I brought that higher government with me, I became yeast. And every time I got attacks from whatever group I was in, I understood my assignment. It was only through heat and pressure that I was being activated. And as I got activated, they would attack my ideas. And as they attacked my ideas got more life. Because the most powerful thing a visionary has is his ideas. And my ideas, the more they get attacked, the more they grow, the more they incubate. Because there's only one way to be the idea, is you got to have a bigger dream. You got to have a better idea than I have. And because my ideas came from my source and I rediscovered them, the more you attack them, the more they grow. I just gave somebody the secret to getting their dreams and their vision out there.
Wow.
Is you getting attached to God's big idea.
I could not contain myself. Oh my God. I am just, oh my God, I could not contain myself.
I know. I'm like my daddy.
Oh, gosh. It's just like a, Mayor, you have Ambassador Thierry Murter asking you a question. My gosh.
Yep. Are you there?
Do we choose a mentor based on the same vision?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, mentorship, right? You have to look at what your goals are. Mentor is somebody you pursue based on possibly, are they in a place where you want to be? Like, are they already there? Do they have some type of knowledge or information that they can pass on to you? Right? And so your mentorship, yes, based on not the same vision, but your vision. But you don't want division either. So you might need that one vision where they're all going in the same way. Because if you got more than one vision, you got division. And you can't row the boat. You can't play on the team unless you're all trying to achieve the same goal. That's a great question.
The answer, Mayor Derek Wood. Oh my God. I don't know how many times we have again, but this is just been getting so good and gooder and gooder. But I know that your schedule is really Papa. I'm pretty sure maybe you have another engagement just after us today. I don't know what are your final thoughts, or whether we still have any other question in the chat box. I thank you, all of you who have tuned in and who are going to be tuned in even today when we have Mayor Wood. Is always a pleasure. He is loaded. Loaded with great understanding. Remember, I'm not saying just knowledge. I'm not saying information, but I say understanding of what he's doing.
I just want to tell the people that in rediscovering your vision and being able to see further than your eyes can see, one of the things you got to understand is nothing is yours until you discover it for yourself. Like a mentor can't give it to you. We can't give it to you through this. But the fact that you're here shows that you're looking for something. It shows that you're hungry, right? And it's like a merchant looking for a pearl. When you find that pearl, which is your vision, when you find that pearl, which is your gifts and your talents, it's going to be a point where it's going to be a transformation in your mind. You're no longer going to be conformed to the patterns of the world that's around you. It's no longer are you going to be conformed to the patterns of everybody else, but there's going to be a higher pattern of thoughts for my ways aren't your ways, my thoughts aren't your ways, but mine are higher. It's going to be a point where you begin to align yourself with those bigger dreams, with those bigger ideas. And it's all based on what you look for. It says, seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open. See, you don't see what's there You only see what you've been programmed to see. It's a reprogramming of you dreaming big again. It's a reprogramming of you having a vision to see further and beyond your eyes, right? And so you don't see what's there, you see what you've been programmed to see. And so until you change the way you see a thing, the thing that you're looking at will never change. Let me say that again. Until you change the way you look at a thing, the thing you're looking at will never change. And so you have to change your perception. See, if your precepts is wrong, your concepts is wrong, and everything in life is a misconception. And it's so until you realign to the original thought, to the source of all thought, you'll be out of alignment with yourself. So continue to make sure you look with the right lens, with the right perception, and the right eyes. And I guarantee you that your life will be transformed and you will live beyond your eyes. Continue to sell out into the oceans and continue to sell out into a world that's much bigger, that's much larger. And I'm telling you, whatever it is you believe, you will achieve. Whatever you dream, you will receive. And your vision of the future will become your vision of today.
Perfectly said. And that is our end today. I have nothing to add to it, but just to tell you, please, thank you very much, Mayor Derry Wood, out of Dumfries, Virginia. Wow. Follow us on our various channels or platform, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You could share this information with many people as you can. And also we have a Podbean. We are also on Odyssey, and you could log in and you could listen to it 7 times. As Papa Ma always say, go listen to it 7 times so that the information and in the understanding, then you will grasp all what was shared today. And this is for free. We're not charging you. We're giving you great information, great knowledge, and understanding. Many people are paying out there to just get what Mayor Derry Wood shared today. Thank you again for the privilege of your time, for allowing us to come into your home, into your ear, and change your frequency and return you back to the source of all life and all things, Yahweh, God. Wow. Mayor Derry Wood, what should I say? Thank you. And on behalf of Mamlaka Broadcast and the whole entire team, we just wanted to say again, thank you. Stay back on the backstage. We just have to talk again. And we now signing off as kings and queens. Signing off. Thank you, producer.